Welcome to the special broadcast of The Agenda. We're coming to you from UNISA's main campus in the country's capital, which is this venue for this very first national convention, the first of several, we're told, which is put together in some ways to provide some kind of blueprint, guidelines, some of the rules, if you like, for a national dialogue, the form of which and the time of which is yet to be decided upon. There are several people who are gathered here, as you can expect, from across a number of sectors: government, civil society, religious organizations, both the opposition and those from the Government of National Unity. The podium that you're watching is going to be the site of much of our attention within a few moments when the official program begins. It was meant to have started already. Something tells me it will kick off at any moment now. And as soon as it does, we'll take you there live. In the interim, we'll continue to ventilate some of the sentiments of those that we are spotting in and around our makeshift studio. Joining us now is Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa, who is both the Corporate Governance Minister, but also the leader of the IFP. Minister, we'll start with your government position first. Good morning. Thanks very much indeed for popping by. Corporate governance in some ways is central to making sure that the promises made by the Constitution ultimately are realized by people on the ground. And I say this because we know that part of the work you've been doing over the past couple of months is making sure that there is some kind of cohesion between national government at a provincial level, and hopefully that'll cascade to a local level. How much are you hoping that this gathering will help you continue to try and achieve that objective?
Thank you very much. And greetings to the viewers, the people of South Africa. Cooperative governance, as you rightly said, plays a crucial role because it cuts across three spheres of government. For stability in the country, local government, provincial government, and national government, there must be a cohesion. This convention is a necessary thing to happen, to kick off a discussion after 31 years of freedom. In every society, especially from a position of segregated societies to united societies, it will always be necessary that from time to time you take a pause and you reflect. How far have we gone? Out of this process, CoGTA is of the view that an outcome should be a reflection of, after 31 years, since COGTA 1 and COGTA 2, how much South Africa has progressed. There is a key problem of inequality. We shouldn't be still in a state of grave inequality in South Africa after 31 years. We must ask a question, why? Was this question resolved sufficiently at COGTA or not? There is a great unemployment. Why? The problem of poverty, which does not affect all people equally. Some are becoming more richer and the majority is becoming more poorer. Why? These are the questions that we must engage and come up with a solution as we take the next 20 to 30 years in our country.
The questions you ask, Minister, many people will say we already have the answer. There's widespread poverty because the economy is not growing. There is a feeling that there is a detachment between the state and the people on the ground. People are disillusioned in the country and have been for quite some time. Essentially, Minister, there are so many people who I imagine watching us now saying, we have had the discussions, we need to get around to the doing. What's your response to that criticism?
Indeed, on certain things, there are programs in place. The Government of National Unity is looking at means and ways of growing the economy. We have agreed on that one. But let me go to the question of inequality. Land is central on inequality. A landless person will never be equal to someone who has plenty of land which sometimes he or she is not using. At COGTA, there were issues that were not resolved completely. Land issue, powers and functions, roles of the traditional leaders, Amakosi, was left unresolved. Social cohesion. There is much hatred between people in South Africa. It emanates in gender-based violence. It emanates on race-to-race relations. Social cohesion needs a discussion that we are one country. After 31 years, we haven't made progress on these issues. What else needs to be done? While on a daily basis, yearly basis, we are addressing these issues, but a sit-down session is necessary even in a family.
Right.
A family that does not have a sit-down discussion but is always at work on daily basis is unlike a family that takes time to discuss, reflect, and project for the future.
I suppose if this is a family like many others, it's got its complexities because some of the adults of this family have decided not to be part of this discussion. The Democratic Alliance, part of the coalition that you are also a part of, has pulled out of this, and I think it's the IFP as well casting doubt upon it if they haven't pulled out as well. Minister, if optics are anything to go by, something ought to be said about that. It's difficult to try to convince South Africans to buy into something that the national coalition itself doesn't seem to have an agreed position on.
Now, let me be specific. The IFP is part of the convention. We agreed from the onset. The delegation is represented by Reverend Zondi, Musa Zondi, who was part of CoGTA discussions, and Mr. Mangaka Albert Mngwango, who was part of CoGTA, and Mrs. Kamadlopa Mtetwa. They know the issues from the IFP which were not resolved at CoGTA. We will put those issues on the table. When it comes to elders or other political parties who are not part of the convention, it is their choice. Remember, some of them were willing at the beginning and changed along the way.
Right.
So now each and every political party makes a decision on the basis of what informs it at that particular time. By the way, all people do not go to war at the same time.
Sure.
Some remains at home, some go to war, and this is continuous. It's not going to be the end of the world. Down the line, 20 years, and next generation.
Okay.
I was not at CoGTA. I will be part of this dialogue, and I may not be part of the next dialogue. A nation that is going forward.
Sure. All right.
Needs to reflect.
I've got your sentiment and I have to let you go, they say. Minister, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. Really do appreciate it. So much more to be ventilated whilst we're here, and I imagine we'll get an opportunity to do that throughout the course of the next couple of hours, days, weeks, who knows, maybe even years. That's Velenkosini Hlabisa, who of course is the Corporate Governance Minister and also the leader of the IFP. We're showing you visuals now of the main auditorium where President Cyril Ramaphosa is walking in, and of course he's going to be delivering that main address that's expected, if the program is anything to go by, at 11 o'clock. But given the fact that we're starting a bit delayed this morning, I beg your pardon, that remains to be seen, but his presence inside that main auditorium is a signal that we are certainly about to start.